Hello and welcome to the Dragon's Pass Railroad. Today we are driving the Dragon's Pass the RS5-2 1606. These are top secret military locomotives that were built prior to the 90s. And they were built for hauling explosive goods and other military purposed vehicles and uses. But the military built them and really did not have a need for these units no more, though the construction behind them were top secret, and the units originally were supposedly equipped with low profiling, engine running, supercooling, and state-of-the-art industrial traction motors that were specifically designed for extreme hauling. These locomotives are very powerful and can pull quite a heavy train. They have a high pickup and a high acceleration. Though they are not DPR standard issue, they are fairly powerful nonetheless. When they were handed over the DPR, the military kept a lot of stuff top secret about them. These locomotives are supposedly equipped with a silencer which allows it to run without detection or triggering any crossings. So this thing basically can run in the dark and you never even know it's there. They were designed for military, but since they were sold to DPR because the military's top secret project fell through and never was completed, they had no more use for these locomotives and built 12 of them, in which it was either scrap perfectly good locomotives or modify them for mainline use. So that's what they decided to do. Rockwell engineers got into these things, had special drivers trained, and here we are. About to leave the Iron Valley. And we are heading up the old line. We do have permission to depart the yard. Give our horn a couple toots. Put our throttle up. Oh, and I'd better take off the emergency brake. These locomotives are very, very picky if you don't do exactly how they're supposed to be. Alright. Since we've already given our warning signal, DPR is pretty good about. And we are carrying a vast variety of rockets and missiles. Yes, this train is a dynamite train. Let's put her in second throttle. These locomotives are pretty good. We have permission to depart the yard. Well, let's get rolling. And we're off. is where the new line and old line split ways. She's real rough through here. This track has received almost no maintenance, and now that we're on the old line, DPR has forgot to put in any work orders for this line. As you can see, beside it is the 2 double track, which is a DPR main line. We are now approaching the airport, which used to hold. It holds a. The airport here is just outside Catacoma. It's a small runway, dirt runway. Not very good. It used to do a lot of service planes and stuff like that. You can partially see the old railroad station, part of the old runway. It's just a small airstrip. It's now privately owned by a company that flies. This is Catacoma Station. As you can see, the heavy growth and shrubbery covering the former line that has not been used in quite a while. So as we approach the station, we are literally just plowing through bushes. Authentically, DPR would not bother to run a train through here. But these tracks are still usable, according to DPR standards. The station used to serve passengers to the town, but they no longer do. DPR used to also run its first passenger service through here. Of course, DPR no longer runs passenger trains, as they sold the passenger service to Dragon Coastal International, or DCI. So the Dragon Coastal International now runs the passenger service, which they have multiple express trains. This is the part of the section of the route where if you head down the main line, you'll head towards the military base, but we are heading down the old section, which goes through the West Pass. That goes through an old mountain. This section is extremely rough, and not too many trains go down this way. Today, we are. Though there is no clarity as to why this line was never torn up, this is the old section of the route, and it's really rough. We're having a rocking good time today. Somebody needs to get out here with a bucksaw and cut down some of this bushery. We are approaching the former West Pass station and former mine, and it looks like, boy, this young feller certainly has been waiting there quite a while. Ah, the poor chap. He's been waiting so long. He lost his way. Guess there hasn't been a train down this way in so long, he got bored. Died of boredom. We are now approaching the West Valley Station, or West Pass, track that went up and looped through the valley. Of course, West Pass no longer has trains come through this way anymore. They do occasionally see the odd tour train, which is run by Dragon Valley Railroad, another short line that shares this track. Dragon Valley Railroad will run a small train through here just to pick up the locals, workers, and take them into the city. Another reason why this line, part of the line, was shut down was because of the tight curves. You couldn't run a train too fast. And we are now approaching Spartan Gorge. Over the other side of the canyon is the lumber yard and pig factory, where they butcher and destroy cattle for your crude enjoyment. DPR's main industries is coal, piping, and ore. Of course, the ore mines have been closed. DPR does a lot of shipping by train. Another thing about DPR, they run no trucks. Everything is done by rail. There's been a huge debate to have things go by trucks, but DPR has bought out all the trucking companies and forced them to become railroad engineers. Otherwise, their families would be heavily scrutinized and forced to prison, basically. Therefore, having no choice, they became railroad engineers and other servicemen. So DPR does not use trucks other than intercity travel. Everything is done by train, which is how it should be.